Hi everybody, this is Mr. Nolan, and I just want to go through with you what happens when ethanol burns. So ethanol burning is actually a pretty beautiful thing. If you take a look at this GIF that I found, the fact that it's spinning really has nothing to do with the demonstration, but we have ethanol burning, and so there's some kind of spinning sort of potter's wheel down here. There's some kind of cage or some sort of wiring mesh around it. And then we have our fuel down here, which is where our ethanol is. We've got our flame. And then, of course, because it's spinning, the flames have this really neat sort of spiral sort of looking flame. So, but that's all beside the point as far as what actually happens when ethanol burns. So what I would really like to be able to do today, what I would like you to be able to do, is to walk out of this video with an explanation of what can we observe that indicates what happens when ethanol burns. There's a few things we should be able to observe that are simple to observe that we can use as evidence to explain what happens when ethanol burns. So that's what we want to be able to do. So to do that, I'm going to X out of the video here and jump down here to sort of a pared down little picture. And what we're going to try to do here is model this. We're going to model what does the flame do when it's burning. So in terms of what happens when ethanol burns, we want to be able to describe what's going on with the energy. We want to be able to describe what's happening with the mass. We also want to be able to describe what's happening in terms of the chemicals. So these are really several questions that we want to be able to answer. Where is energy going? How is it changing? How is the mass changing, or where is it going? And also, what are the chemicals doing? These are really the main driving questions behind the overall question, what happens when ethanol burns? So to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to think about what kinds of tools we have. So in terms of energy, we can just observe. So in terms of what happens in terms of energy, we can make some very simple observations with our senses. So we'll get to that in a second. As far as mass changes, what we can use is we can use a scale. We can use a scale to figure out how does the mass change over time, given certain situations. And then to figure out what chemicals are changing, we have this great chemical called BTB, which stands for bromothymol blue. And BTB indicates acidity. And so if our BTB is blue, that means that it's a base. And if it's yellow, that means that it's an acid. So we have these three tools. One of them is just our eyes and our ears and our hands and even our noses. One of them is the scales that we can use to figure out, well, what happens to the mass. And then the other one that we can use is BTB. So between these three sort of tools that we have, we can really answer this question about what happens when ethanol burns. So let's start off just by talking about energy. So the first thing that we can talk about, which is really pretty easy to talk about, is energy. What is going on with our energy? Well, if you are around an ethanol, anything that's burning, we have some very obvious energy changes going on. And so there's really two that we can think of. One of them is that we have heat energy coming out. And then the other one is that we have light energy coming out. Now, there are some rules about atoms and energy that we want to keep in mind. This applies to atoms and energy, such as heat and light. And the rule about energy is that energy can't be created or destroyed. You can't create or destroy energy. You can move it around, you can change forms with energy, but we can't actually destroy it. So this heat and light that's coming out of our flame is not really being created. It's actually coming from another kind of energy. So these things that we can observe just with our eyes and with our hands, if we hold your hands over a flame, these kinds of energy are coming from somewhere. They're not being created. And so the question naturally becomes, well, where are they coming from? And in order to answer that question, we can sort of compare two things. So those two things that we can compare are
two liquids, one of which will burn and emit that energy, and the other one won't. So if I take, for instance, ethanol and water, so these are two different clear liquids, they look exactly the same, and if I put a match to water, if I took an actual burning match and put it to water, well, what would happen? I would end up with a burned up match. So my water would not actually burn, which is obvious. I mean, we know that water will not burn. But if I were to take a match and put it on my ethanol, my burning match, and put it on an ethanol, what's going to happen is that I'm going to end up with a big flame here. And I'm going to get that energy that we talked about earlier. So this is a piece of evidence that we can use to say that there's something inside the ethanol that the water does not have. Water will not burn if you strike a match to it, but ethanol will. And that means there's a kind of energy that's sort of hiding inside the ethanol, and the kind of energy we call that is chemical energy. So ethanol actually has chemical energy inside it, high amounts of chemical energy that is released when you get it hot enough and it sets on fire. It is released, and our water does not, or at least it has a lot less energy than ethanol does. So that's kind of a little piece of evidence that we can use to say that, well, ethanol contains energy. So great, our flame is emitting our energy in the form of heat and light, because that energy is actually already inside it. That chemical energy is down here. Chemical energy is down here. And through this reaction, it is being converted. This is a conversion of energy, or a transformation of energy. It's going from chemical to heat and light energy. So that's the first thing to get clear on as far as what happens when ethanol burns. We have chemical energy converting into heat and light energy. So wonderful. We have energy all sorted out. We've got that figured out. Let's talk about mass. What can we look at in terms of mass to figure out what happens when ethanol burns? Well, if I were to go ahead and let ethanol burn, if I weighed it before, so if I take my mass before burning and compared it to my mass after burning, let's just say that over here I've got 10 grams, 10.0 grams of ethanol. So I've got my scale down here. So it reports that I've got 10 grams of ethanol to begin with. And then at the end of it all, once this has burned, I end up with only, let's say, 7.5 grams. So we can see that there is a loss of mass, that the amount of ethanol that we have has decreased from 10 grams to 7.5. We've lost 2.5 grams. And so one thing that this helps us to talk about is if we want to know what's happening when ethanol burns, it's going to be really useful to be able to say, well, we're losing mass. The ethanol actually has mass escaping from it. So there's mass. There's some kind of mass which is leaving the ethanol. And which seems to make sense. I mean, that would, seem logical. But we can actually use a scale to figure that out. We're losing mass. So we can come back to this concept in a minute, but let's first talk about chemicals. Once we start getting into chemicals, it gets a little bit more complicated, but also a lot more interesting. So let's look at what happens to the chemicals when ethanol burns. So here's where it really gets very interesting. So let's say that I want to know what my chemicals are doing. I'm really trying to explain in full what happens when ethanol burns. So I want to know what my chemicals are doing. So we would have to do some observations with maybe some BTB. So if I took my ethanol and I put it in a box, in a closed box, it's got a lid on it or something, it's actually a closed box, and I burned my ethanol, and if I were to go ahead and I took some BTB, some blue BTB, and put that next to my ethanol in my closed box, what would happen is that my BTB will turn yellow. So my BTB will go from blue to yellow. And so that's the first thing that we would see, going from blue to yellow. So great, my BTB has turned yellow. And what we learned in a previous lesson was that the reason why BTB will turn yellow, the reason it will go from blue to yellow, is because that it becomes
acidic. And the most important way that BTB becomes acidic, and in most ways that it's used, is that CO2 has entered it. So because our BTB turned yellow when we put the BTB in the flame under the box, that means CO2 entered the BTB. And where did that CO2 come from? Well, the only place it could have come from was from the flame. So what this tells us, what this provides evidence for, is chemical evidence that carbon dioxide came out of the flame, and that it turns the BTB yellow, and that's why it turned yellow. But what we will also notice here, we're not going to stop here, what we will also notice is that our flame will die. After a few seconds, our flame will actually gutter out, and it will die down, and then our flame will quit. And so what that also indicates that there's something inside the box when you start the flame that is causing the flame to burn, but then after a little while it disappears. And so what we can conclude from that is whatever is entering the flame needs it to burn. And that thing turns out to be O2. Most people know that O2, as oxygen, as fire is burning, oxygen is sucked in. But at the same time, carbon dioxide is pumped out. And so this is another piece of evidence that we could use to say, well, chemically, what is going on? Well, the fire is producing carbon dioxide. But wait! We can't stop there. We have to be able to recognize that if carbon is coming out of the flame, there must be carbon down here in the flame. Now, carbon dioxide is a gas. It's not a liquid or anything. So whatever is in the flame, our ethanol down here, or our fuel source, it's not CO2. It's some other kind of carbon. So let's talk about that. Let's discuss what is going on with this transformation of carbon. Okay, so it turns out that this is what's going on. Our flame is burning, and as it's burning, it's producing carbon dioxide, but that carbon is coming from something else, and that carbon is coming from the ethanol. That's our fuel. And ethanol is a special kind of chemical, just like wood and just like a lot of other chemicals, which is called organic. And what that means is that it has carbon-carbon bonds and or carbon-hydrogen bonds. And these are high-energy bonds. These are bonds that actually contain a lot of energy. So as our fire is burning and it's sucking up this ethanol, it's also sucking in oxygen, O2, which looks like this. It's pulling in oxygen. And then what we end up with is a bunch of carbons over here. So we're going to get carbons, and those are connected to 2 oxygens apiece. We're also going to get another carbon, which is connected to another 2 oxygens apiece. And there's other things going on here. So if we were to be worried about balancing in the stoichiometry, we would know that there's other things going on here. For instance, one of them is that water is also produced. We're also producing water. So our oxygen is combining, and we're actually producing CO2, which I've indicated here with a carbon attached to 2 oxygens. So this actually explains where that carbon dioxide comes from. It's coming from the carbon that's in the ethanol. In a way, it kind of explains where the energy is coming from, too. The energy is coming from these high bonds. Once these bonds are broken in heat and combined with oxygen, they produce these low energy bonds between carbon and oxygen and hydrogen and oxygen. So that energy has to go somewhere. And so that energy actually leaves in the form of heat and light. So this is wonderful. This begins to model what is actually happening when ethanol burns. We start with an organic compound. It combines with oxygen and it produces carbon dioxide, which is inorganic. They're both carbon, but they're inorganic. And that also explains why our mass changes. We're actually losing ethanol. This mass is being lost, and it's turning into a different chemical. So, in summary, what happens when ethanol burns? Well, if I could sum this up in one figure, it would be this. We have our energy going from chemical energy, which is in the fuel, into heat and light energy. It's converting into a different kind of energy. We start off with mass down here in the fuel, but it ends up here. It actually goes here, up into the air. And if we think about what that mass is, it starts off with organic carbon, which has those CC and CH bonds, and it turns into inorganic carbon after we add or subtract things. It depends. But if you add some oxygen in this case, we get inorganic carbon in the form of CO2. We know that because of the BTB. So this is really kind of a good way to sort of summarize what happens when ethanol burns. So I hope that this was
enlightening, and that you feel a little better about explaining and modeling what happens when ethanol burns.